Sup YouTube, welcome back to another video documenting my journey to legend. Consider subscribing and leave a like if you enjoy the video. Before I get started with the battles, quick shout out to James Burnham for supporting the channel. Really appreciate it, man. Here's to making it to legend this season. And without further delay, let's get into these battles. So, this team is actually of my own creation. It takes place in the Psychic Cup. If somebody else has made this team, I didn't know. I genuinely thought I made it up on my own, considering it's quite shit. I'm gonna let this first battle play out. The reason I keep it in is because somebody was using Shoutout Mewtwo. I respect the spice. The whole concept behind this team is that there is no real concept. It's pretty much ABC. It's not really like an ABB style. All three of these mons do fairly well against Bruxish, which has been pretty popular due to its bite damage and overall attack stat. Cresselia does the best against it. That's why it's in the lead. And this team has overall performed really well for me. I haven't reached my elo yet, but this team gave me a 70% win ratio in the sets that I was using it. We melt the Hoopa there, which was kind of cool. Again, the absolute spice on this man is the only reason I left this in, and that's probably the only reason we won that match. Mewtwo just can't really hit. It can't really one-shot anything. Here's the Bruxish. You outpace to a Grass Knot, so don't be afraid to overfarm a bit. And it does that much damage, which I found out in this battle because most people tend to shield it. You won't go down. I believe that in the zeros, you win. So play out the zeros and then come in, get a bit of a farm with somebody else. Or if they let it go, like in this case, then you're pretty set. And here I was thinking that I was pretty set. I'm going to bring in Gardevoir, I'm going to chunk, but they're not swapping out. And me is concerned. I was thinking it was a Malamar, but no, it's a Shadow Gardevoir. And now I am screwed because these pups or these counters are 2 times resisted. My only hope is I can punch this thing down, but that ain't happening, bruh. So our first real game in this match, and we kind of got lost. There are some core breakers to this team. Rapidash is sort of one of them. It's a really difficult matchup, honestly. You have Grass Knot, which, like, you need 2 moves anyway to KO, so you should throw 2 moves. Here I catch the Body Slam since I figured they would throw right away. Not every single one does, but I figure it was a pretty good catch in order to save the Cresselia for a sack or something like that. They bring in Victini, which is another core breaker to this team. So just full of core breakers, but you will see that Shadow Gardevoir up 2 shields puts in a lot of work. We go down. We take that V-Create on the chest because we a man. We don't need to use no shields. And we bring in Cresselia just to sack it. This majestic, beautiful crescent moon looking ass thing. And then we bring in Gardevoir. We have to shield this because I don't know how much a V-Create would do, but I assume it would do a lot. And they bring in Bruxish. And because we are part fairy, we can outpace or farm it down, really. And the Rapidash just is too glassy, and we farm down the Rapidash. So 2 shielded. Gardevoir put in a ton of work. Also, Bronzong. This thing is a core breaker. The core breaker. I didn't know what to do at the time, so I try to soften it up, right, with a Moonblast. And I get hit with a payback right on the face, and I figure, all right, you've done enough, Bronzong, let me bring in my Medi. And this is the only other Medi I saw, so that was kind of cool. No other set or no other battle in this video showcases a Medicham. This is the only one. And I figured they wouldn't be running Psychic, but like me, they're a scrub. So they were running Psychic in a Psychic meta where this thing is resisted on pretty much everything. I forgot to TM it over to Dynamic Punch. That's probably the move you want to go to. Although in this set, it actually helped me out since Psychic does neutral damage. So we bring in Cresselia, again, just to sack it. Might as well be my ball sack, man. Like, that's all it does in this video. And now you will see what happens. They bring in a Malamar to force a shield, right? Because they will get one. I snuck in a charm, so that chunked it. And then they bring in Bronzong, and I'm like, damn, this thing is gonna outpace me. And while it does outpace me, I didn't realize the charms were gonna chunk that much. I thought this thing was bulkier than it is, and then the Malamar isn't gonna outpace me. So that was pretty interesting. It's not the only Bronzong we win, or Bronzong team we win. Again, another Rapidash lead. This one is tricky. I tend to go straight for the Grass Knot because you do need 2 moves and you outpace. So if they build up to the Mega Horn, I sometimes respect it. I don't know, I guess I was just feeling ballsy at this time. And now they are at the Mega Horn. Yeah, and now I respect it. They do full send the Mega Horn. I'm going to throw one before their Mega Horn. And if they decide to shield, I might try to catch. So I throw one. We CMP. I didn't try to catch because they were at the Mega Horn, and Mega Horn on any of the back mons is going to hurt. So I figured I might as well just sack it, win the ones, come in with Medi, commit to an aggressive farm down. Mega Horn will not KO, now knowing that they're rocking Mega Horn and not play rough, right? And so we farm it down, and they bring in, I believe it's a Core Breaker. Is it the Bronzong? No. Oh, no, it's a Victini. I throw this just to soften it up, and then I bring in Gardevoir, and you're going to see they're going to build to the back-to-back, and they have it here. My only hope is that this Charm KOs because of the V-Create. It does. They have a Malamar in the back. I throw this just so that I can force the shield, and they immediately go for the move, which is great because now they won't take that charm damage. And I need to outpace, but I'm recognizing that we're going to CMP, and Medi loses the CMP. So a really, really tough matchup with Galarian Rapidash in the lead. I'm not really too sure what I could have done differently. If I had caught on the Medi, Victini would have came and farmed me down. Maybe that was the play, because then Cresselia survives two V-Creates, but it was still a really, really tough matchup regardless in the back. That probably would have been the play, actually, now that I think about it. Victini, I am trying to CMP with this goddamn thing, but they are over-farming like a motherfucker. They do throw the V-Create. As you can see, it doesn't do too much damage. I can tank another one, and I'm going to over-farm a bit, just because I suspected that they might try to catch. And here I was bringing in Medicham. Medicham with Dynamic Punch is a counter to Bronzong, but Medicham with Psychic, especially when I shield the Psychic, is not a counter to Bronzong. You survive any one move, don't shield the first move, especially if it's a Psychic. God forbid you get the debuff, and then you're looking bad. You're looking tough. You're looking like this Bronzong. That thing is ugly as hell. It looks like a cheese grater, or like those things you put on top of candles to turn them off. Yeah. Little side tangent. I'm going to bring back in Cresselia again to do what? To freaking sack it. But they catch! I was hoping to CMP. They catch on the Galarian Rapidash, and this is actually really good for me. They do reach a move, but it's only a Body Slam, and Gardevoir may be frail, but it's not that frail. And we can outpace the Victini, or farm it down, rather, before they can farm us down, and so we take that win. Another Bruxish. What do? This fish is so ugly. They try to catch a Grass Knot. We hold on to our energy. We bring our Knot counter to Bronzong and hope for the best. Again, you tank a payback. I think maybe Psychic might do more damage since it's stab. I go for the Psychic just because it is a harder hitting move. And I didn't know this at the time, but I do now, that Bronzong wins CMP. For some reason, I think this thing is tankier or bulkier than it actually is. It's not. I'm going to come in with Cresselia and throw probably when I'm at 100 energy. Yep. I was going to try to throw before their next move, but I was going to cap out before then. So we do throw the Grass Knot. It does KO. They bring in a Malamar, and I'm just hoping they don't respect this, and they don't respect me, and they don't. And then I bring in Gardevoir and let Gardevoir do what Gardevoir does best. This was very satisfying. Also, you don't need to shield that Psychic Fangs, but I figured, you know, it's 2 shields up. Why not? I'm not trying to flex. Oh my god. A freaking Latios. A Shadow Latios. I feel like I need to bait, right? It's only 1 away from the Moonblast, but lucky for me, they do throw up a shield. I was sort of scared that they might not. And then they go for a Psychic. I'm like, why aren't you throwing a Dragon Claw? They do catch on Galarian Rapidash, but that's not really a catch. That shit is gonna hurt. And it does. And we chunk them down before they even get to a move. And then they bring in Raichu, and I'm like, oh, this is GG's. I'm gonna shield this down. I shield this up. And then I'm gonna farm down the Latios. Look at those charms, bro. Chunkin'. That was also really cool. Again, another Shadow Legendary. Pretty much all the Shadows we saw in this video were Legendaries. This one's a Shadow Lugia, which is a lot better than Shadow, what was it, Latios? In my opinion. It's bulkier, it's got a better fast move, or not really a better fast move, but it's bulkier. And here I overfarm like a noob because I was trying to throw on proper timing, And because of that, I need to overfarm a little more. I'm capped out at 100 energy. Going for the Moonblast, the kill shot. God forbid they don't shield. They bring in Brexit, and we're going to launch this Grass Knot and try to take it out. They shield. Again, we saw like it does like 90% damage, so it wouldn't have KO'd, but they do throw up a shield since we had used one of ours. And now I can bring in God of Awe and hope I can charm everything down. Again, you don't have to shield. If they go for the Aqua Tail, you're shit out of luck, but I was taking a gamble. What do they bring in? Malamar. I managed to get one charm off, and that's all I needed. Now, I just need to outpace the back-to-back Ice Punches. Hope that I can. You can sort of tell that I'm gonna survive another foul play, but I didn't want to take the chance. I don't know what I was thinking. God forbid the game just, you know, decides to make that foul play hit harder. Which makes no sense. And then one counter is able to take it down before they make it to. They died with the foul play. This I play like a shit. Cresselia is not that bad in the lead. Just stay in the lead, soft lose it, you know, and then rely on your other two mons, because as you're gonna see, like if I had Gardevoir would have swept this back line. So I'm gonna get taken out here. I actually survive, and I made it to the Psychic, but I wasn't sure. So I go for the Ice Punch. Lucky for me, they do shield. So now they're down a shield, and I think I'm gonna come in with Cresselia. Look to shield once. Hopefully they go for the Mega Horn. They do, and so now I can throw one before the Mega Horn, and my opponent is a genius. They knew that I was most likely going to do that since I lose CMP, so they threw the Body Slam on that CMP. And here I could have undercharged, but I was okay with that. I was okay with taking that damage. And here was when I realized, oh yeah, that's right. It has Sludge Bomb. It doesn't have Shadow Ball. That's the Slow King. So I could have just stayed in and done as much damage as I could with this thing. Yes, that's resisted, but I'm assuming two of those would have not KO'd, but done enough damage where it would have hurt. And you're gonna see something funny here. I come in with the Gardevoir and I'm like, all right, damn, I gotta shield this up. I saw the Poison Jab come through, but somehow they still throw the Focus Blast. And I don't know if that was out of disrespect because they have the Malamar in the back, but I'm just not bulky enough to survive this foul play. And we lose a heartbreaking game. So I probably could have played that better if I had stayed in with Cresselia. But I'm a scrub, you know, so it happens. Another horrible lead, in my opinion, because I hate seeing this goddamn Rapidash. It is glassy. Again, see, this one we do shield up. We went on a whim that they would throw the Mega Horn. Takes 2 moves to KO, so throw the Grass Knot. You don't have any one move that will nuke a Rapidash, even though it is super glassy. They shield, so now I'm like, okay, I'm going to let this move go through because I still survive a Mega Horn. And because I'm not going to outpace to a Body Slam, I catch. We do make the catch. And now I feel like I can farm this down. If I have to shield, then so be it. They bring in a Victini. I'm going to keep farming until they get to the back-to-back. I overfarm by accident. And I'm just hoping that they don't CMP with me because I'm going to go down with all this energy. They don't, which is beautiful. And as you're going to see, it doesn't KO, but Simul KO. That was such a good feeling. That my opponent made a bit of a misplay there. They probably thought they could have farmed down. And now this game is Owarida. Because Malamar is not going to be able to survive. Neither is Rapidash. Those charms just chunk and they concede. And I think that's the last battle. Over a 70% win ratio with this team. Definitely give it a try. I know I haven't reached my elo yet, but I do think this is a strong team. There are some obvious core breakers and you still manage to play around with it. Just, you know, if when in doubt, save shields for Shadow Gardevoir. It put in so much work. I know I gave into the toxicity, but I built it. So I figured I might as well use it. I'll catch you in that next video. Peace.